Hello. It's April 24th, 2020. This is our fourth Evening with Spirit gathering. Inquiring, is there divinity in chaos? And so just a couple of logistics. We'll do a couple of logistics while people are logging on. Hi, Bianca. Kayla, will you do the logistics?
Yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the fourth Evening with Spirit. So a couple of the logistics, technology-wise, is that we want to try and make sure everybody's microphone stays off during this gathering. So if you are up and walking around with your phone in your pocket, you could just make sure that that's silenced so that it's not interrupting anybody else's experience. That would be wonderful. Also, when we're doing the inner present thing, we're doing our best to have the music playing while Annie's talking, and it is notoriously hard to do two audio inputs. So you can hear her voice. Sometimes it sounds a little more mechanical than other times, or a little bit further away. So we're doing our best to make sure it's as clear as possible. But you can usually hear exactly what she's saying. So focusing on that, the music is really important piece of it. So it's nice to be able to do both, even though it doesn't sound perfect. We have 4 more Evening with Spirits scheduled, and they will be May 4th, Monday, May 4th at 6 p.m., Friday, May 15th at 5 p.m., Monday, May 25th at 6 p.m., and June 5th, it's a Friday at 5 p.m. So we'll send out emails to everybody. We'll get reminders out and everything, but as this morphic field begins to grow, like we talked about last week, the more people that we can have either on the live recordings or the live viewings and the recordings, the better, because Annie talked about last week how it's like a bank. The more we put in, the more we're able to take out. So if we can all be there to help each other and build this morphic field of love even greater, your presence is so important, and we're so grateful for it each time that you are able to take this time out of your day to be here and help us build that. So thank you very much. You're appreciated more than you know for being here and doing this with us. Any other logistics? Oh, we're gonna go. I think that's all the logistics.
Yes, if they're okay, so Zoom has upgraded their security, and there is a password now in your email that you get that I'm pretty sure you copy and paste. Like, is that right, Kayla? When you log on?
Yeah, so when you get the registration email, it will say click here to go to the meeting, and underneath that is the password. So you just copy and paste that password just because of the more security. So that way we have to have a password so that we're more protected.
And then the only other logistic thing was, I realized some people might be calling in on their cell phones, and I have a sneaky feeling, I'm not sure, but I have a sneaky feeling that the cell phones might have a little more disrupted audio than, you know, a desk thing, a laptop, or whatever you call it. Anyway, the music is infused with healing energy, and that's why I play it. If it gets to the point where the majority of people are like, that's annoying to have your voice and the music compete, I will make the music silent. I will still play it, but I will make it silent. So email me feedback about that if it's horrible, or put it in the chat, because I do read all the chat in between Zoom sessions. And if anybody has a testimonial that they feel strongly like, I've had an aha moment, or I've had a big shift, or I've had a big healing, or that is short and directly related to what we're doing together, please share it with me. Please email it, and we can do one a week, like 60 seconds or less, a minute or less, of someone saying, this is what I've noticed. Because outside of the meetings, people are telling me they're having big healings. Um, and this is really exciting. If you think, really, we're just getting together and calling in the light. Wow. And people are getting big healings. This is really encouraging. The releases have been big, what people are describing, and I am thrilled about that. I'm having them. I'm going deeper in stuff. I thought I had gotten to the bottom of all this. They are all coming up now, the ones I didn't get totally to the bottom of. And so what might you feel when you're healing? You might get diarrhea. You might throw up. You might get headaches. You might have nightmares. You might wake up in the middle of the night sweating. You might have bad breath, body odor. You might be extremely tired. You might be extremely emotional. These are all signs of detoxification. I do protocols that I ask that our physical response to this stuff be as on a low as possible dial of volume, so that we can detox energetically instead of physically. But the reason why we detox physically is because there's something about the brain acknowledging, wow, I'm healing. And that's why if we never got a rash, if we never got a symptom, we might not know something's actually changing. And so if it ever gets horrible, you can turn down the volume, or it might have to get horrible for you. Because during that time where it's horrible, you might be like, I can't eat or drink what I normally do. I need to sleep more. So this is why we are developing this inner relationship, this inner presencing with our body and our soul, so that we can have a platform to converse and say, hey, what are you feeling? What's happening? What is this? And then you get even more curious and neutral to it and say, is this mine? And is this from this lifetime? And is what I'm feeling something that was a response from a class I did, or the Zoom meeting, or an inspirational book I read, or a meditation I did? You can get curious. And so that the benefit of getting curious is that you start to get to understand how you work and how your body works. And then when maybe out of nowhere your fever spikes to 101, hello, that was me last week, you can ask, what's it about? Instead of losing your mind and thinking you're, having a real problem going on. This is this conversation. They're called quality questions. This ability to ask quality questions to our body and our being can educate us what is going on, instead of initially thinking, this is horrible, this is bad, stop it. No, 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 no. That just, your body gets so confused. He or she is like, okay, so we're doing all this energy work, and then I'm letting it out of my body, and they are going, no, 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 what is this? No, I don't like this. I don't like this. Please stop. And then it jams it all back up. So we want to retrain the brain to be curious. What is this fever about? What is this rash about? What is this shift in my digestion about? What is my insane fatigue about? And we don't ask that, from a place of frustration and anger and panic. Because you'll get a wackadoodle answer. You must take a moment, just take a moment and go inside and ask that question with the light. You go inside, you do the protocol that we do here, or your protocol, whatever works for you, but somehow you have to take all your eyeballs off the external reality and go, make them face you and tune into your own energy field, claim your space, claim your sovereignty, claim your mastery, claim your wisdom, claim your connection to spirit, whatever it is you want to call it, God, angels, all that is, my higher self, my I am presence, God, Goddess, the infinite universe, all that is good, all that is love. And get neutral means you have to get out of the left side of your analytical, logical brain. And ask from there. There, that was 30 seconds. 30 seconds to snap into a stillness with an inner presence, an inner consciousness inside.
Maybe we can have everybody put in the chat just one emotion or feeling they've been having over the last 10 days.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Because I have a sneaky suspicion people are getting lots of weird things, and including flu. Absolutely. Aches and pains and fever, nausea, tiredness, yeah.
Grief and anxiety,
Good emotions.
depression, apathy.
Okay, good.
Runny nose, sore throat. Wants to get to the root of postpartum anxiety and found anger. Went to the root of postpartum anxiety and found anger. Grateful, feeling calm.
Okay, well, a couple of those.
Night sweats, gratitude, grief, fatigue, loneliness, sensitivity, diarrhea.
Okay, good. Okay. The physical things, yes. We want to thank the body. Thank you, body. Thanks. Thank you for letting go of this. Thank you. The emotions, I hope people are getting curious with their emotions and going into them and having a communication with them. Hello, 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 hello. Where do you live inside of me? What is the timeline? What age did I first experience this? Where are you hiding? Are you in my physical body? Are you in my emotional body? Are you in my mental body? Getting curious. And our sleep states might be disrupted, especially if we feel like we're coming up with resistance in the world around us. There's this phenomenon that goes on with the healing cycle where we get so excited when we learn something new that makes us go, aha. You know, it's so liberating to actually see something from a different point of perspective inside of ourselves that was different from before, that gives us some liberation, that gives us some inspiration. And then we want to, because we love, you know, these people in our lives, we want everyone to have that information. And so we give it to them, and we don't just put it out like a buffet and tell people, this is what I learned. If you're interested, you know, like a garage sale, slow down the car and have a look, or, you know, all you can eat, you know, browse around and see if any of this interests you. No, we shove it down their throat because we love them and we want them to have the information too, and we want them to heal. And we will get some resistance from the people in our lives, like, you know what, I didn't ask for that information. And I initially don't even agree. I don't even know what you're talking about. And my initial reaction is, shush. Yeah, stop. This happens in the healing journey. And then we get sad because this thing that just moved us so deeply inside has been rejected by the people we love around them. This is where we have to get this resilience inside, that the truth that we learn is for us. if we model it in the world, people will become curious who are looking for those similar type aha moments. But if we don't ask our intuition about, should I send that email to everybody on my email list? Should I send it to my whole family? Should I buy that book and personally hand deliver it to everybody I know and then watch them to make sure they read it? Yeah, no, they're not going to like it. You know, they're not going to like it at all. And it's not because it is not good information, it's not as because it is not helpful, it is not because it didn't make a huge difference for you. There is resistance to change, especially when it brings up fear in people. And you know, there's this you know, picture if we were all cave people and our whole day is around hunting and gathering and staying alive. And we've invented fire, so awesome. You know, we have some warmth and we can cook the meat so we don't die within days of like parasites or whatever. But what happens if an airplane all of a sudden landed outside your cave? Something you've never seen before. I bet you're going to freak out, have a lot of fear, throw arrows at it, try to light it on fire, get everybody you know away from it, and board the cave up and hope to God it passes. You know, some of that stuff is happening out there. Big changes, big information. We are all sensing huge, huge shifts on the horizon, and we don't really understand it. And it's going to take years to understand it. We are not in a sprint right now. We are in a marathon, and we're going to have to pace ourselves. So if you are overdoing it on information, take a little break. Let yourself digest it for a week. Take a step back. Or if you really feel like you don't know enough, start to do some research. And when you do, this is why it's going to take so long to really, you know, get to the truth of what's going on. You're going to have to use like 12 different sources of information. You can't just do one or two. You're going to have to look at all different angles of the situation. And this is why we want to inner practice. This is what we want inner presences, because we might gather information and then we need to sit and digest it and run it by the ticker tape and see if it even makes any sense to us at all. See if anything inside of us says that's the truth. Again, you cannot do it from the left logical linear mind. In order to transcend this reality of 3D, Einstein favorite quote, you can't solve a problem, you can't understand a situation that the third dimensional mind created from the 3D. You have to get a higher point of perspective. And that takes going inside and shifting your energy to do that. And we're just going to have to retrain ourselves to do that. Everybody on this call is not probably already doing that. And if not, absolutely, absolutely capable of it in just minutes to really get to that center and ask. And if anyone's a proficient muscle tester, this has been very helpful for me. You ask what the light score is of that information, that book, that person. You don't do it in someone's face. We don't need to call people liars or whatever. You can go into a place of inner presencing and say, what is the light score of that information? If it's close to 100, like over 95, that's a really high light score. You have to get neutral to ask this question. If it's like 10 or 20, discard. Yeah. So anyway, just, I don't know how we got on that one. So, I was talking about the symptoms of healing. What I'm noticing in my own healing is that even though I'm visiting things that are very old, it's telling me the light is going deeper and deeper and deeper into my being, because we can think that we healed something, and the strangest situation will light it up for us again. And we'll get all frustrated. I thought I healed that. I thought I got past that. I thought I resolved that. And what's happening is we don't want to go into judgment on ourselves on that. We want to say, oh, I'm seeing it now at the deepest level possible. So what I'm noticing in my own healing is that the quality of my tears, the quality of my emotions are changing. They are not like they were when I was in the dark night of the soul of this stuff, where you're just apoplectic and you're a basket case, and you can't find solid ground on anything. It's got a different quality of it. And what I'm noticing, that I don't feel the need to tell the story like I used to. It's a great telltale, something we can recognize inside our being. If we find ourselves telling a story of some pain and trauma that happened to us way in the past. I'm not talking about recent tragedies. I'm talking about stuff that's very old, that you feel like you got to the bottom of, that might be resurging up to the surface now, and you're revisiting the emotions. Um, Notice if you don't feel the need to tell the story anymore, because what happens is telling the story and getting flustered and teared up and angry about it, maybe, or having very strong emotions, that's a telltale sign that you didn't get to the bottom of it yet. When you revisit something and you're like, whoa, I just got this image of this thing that happened when I was little, and you don't feel any urge to pick up the phone and tell the story to somebody and blah, 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 where you more sink into it and say, I'm going to let the healing really happen on this one. I don't need to tell the story to keep it alive anymore. I'm actually really willing for the light to go to the deepest place of my being in that one. I'm going to feel it, what I was feeling, to the bottom of it. And then I'm going to let the light transform it. When we first visit that stuff, we're rarely masters of it. When we're really in the deep dark night of the soul, it's hard to do that. But for those of us who have visited stuff several times, you'll find the quality of this old stuff, these old emotions coming up, are going to shift. They're going to be easier. They're going to feel like cathartic, instead of just like adding water to a soapy sponge. And I bet you you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, so when we really release the emotional charge, by a place of connecting deeply inside of ourselves and going in to visit these with delight, they will morph faster than we've ever been able to do. This is why there is so much light on the planet. This is exactly why the angels are coming in to help us so much, and these star beings, so that we can lighten the load. They understand that we have to clean up this vessel of ours to fill in with this new light that's available. These old third dimensional good, bad, right, wrong, light, dark, I'm guilty, or I'm innocent, or I'm a victim, or I've been perpetrated, or I am the perpetrator. These polarized situations that we have categorized in the traumas of our lives, can't go with us to the fifth dimension. We can't take this luggage with us. Can't go. They say who gets through the eye of the needle is the one that carries no baggage. Not the camel with all the stuff on it. No, you just go through eye of the needle, just you, without all the stuff, because the fifth dimension can't hold that. vibration anymore. And so we have to be willing on some level to heal it, let it go, see it from a different perspective. I think that's the most effective. When we see it from a different perspective, we do feel like we get the freedom from it. And this is why we're gathering, to develop this connection within our being, our soul and our body, our male and female aspects, reuniting the vision of us as a master, picking up all the pieces and fragments of ourselves from brokenness, this unification, this weavingness, this interdependence within our own being and the world around us. This is what we're developing. This is what we're cultivating in morphic fields of love. A very deep interwoven relationship with ourselves and with the divine. And the universe is here to help us. The angels, God, Mother Mary, Buddha, whoever your God is, whoever your source of creative energy that you identify with, I very much encourage you to name what it is and start to really talk to it and get to know it. Because when we get to this place of interconnection, when we get to this inner presencing, where we are integrating our left side, right side brain hemisphere, that's where we have the new platform, the new potential of being miracle minded. So if you want to see miracles in your life, miracles, and you deserve as many as you want, you can have as many as you want. We must be miracle minded, else we won't see it. We won't recognize it when it happens. There's this story of a man who, the levee broke and the flood came and the water rose and he ended up on his roof just to stay head above the water. So he's on the roof and he's, God, please save me. And he's sitting there just monitoring it just over and over. God, save me, save me, save me. And he's sitting there and it's, hours are going by. And a boat with a little putt-putt motor comes up and calls to him, would you like to crawl down and get into the motorized boat here so I can take you to higher ground? Nope. I've called on God. God's going to save me. Okay, so the boat goes away, and then an hour later, a lady in a canoe under the roof looking up at him. Would you like to come down and get in the water and then climb in my canoe so together we can go to some safety? And he didn't know where was that safety? I don't trust that. Who are you? You don't even look like you know how to canoe, like. She leaves begging for God. God, save me. Then a helicopter comes yelling down, we're going to throw you a line with a basket. You're going to have to really reach up to get into the basket. No, I can't do that. That looks very scary. I've never done that before. I don't trust that. Helicopter goes. Now it's getting dark and the man is beside himself on the roof, very upset. God, you always said you were there for me. I've been begging you to come save me. Why don't you save me? And God was like, what are you talking about? I sent a man with a boat, with a motor. And you didn't get in. I sent a lady with a canoe. You didn't get in. I sent you a helicopter. You're too scared to climb into the basket. I tried. So if we have an idea in our mind of what this miracle looks like, we might miss that it actually showed up for us. So the only way to really see it is to get out of this paralyzing state of fear and see that the universe might be sending us messages and help all over the place. And it might not be something we've ever seen it like before. And because we don't like a lot of new and a lot of change, we might say no. We might say no, and we might miss it. We might miss it. So the universe is always has an answer for us the second the problem arises. It's up to us to not expect what that's going to look like, to not have a limited perception of what you need it to be, what you want it to be. So are you sensing things clearly? Are you seeing things clearly? Are you hearing things clearly? Because maybe the change is right there, trying to get your attention. Maybe the help is right there. Are you really literal with how you want the help? Does it have to look a certain way? Because if it is, you might miss it. So the point, I guess, of what they're saying is when you're in this miracle-minded state, anything might look like a potential. You don't have to say yes to everything, but don't say no to everything. It's the mind that needs the healing. It's the Buddhists say the suffering is in our mind. It is the mind that needs the healing. It's to get out of our entrapment, our limited perception, our limited thoughts about things. Where are your ideas fixated? Where are your judgments about the people around you and what they're doing in the world limited? Where are you condemning? Where are you pointing the finger? Where are you having, where's the world, not doing what you want it to do? Because this is all entrapment of the 3D reality. And if we want to live in a place of consciousness, of being based in love, it really doesn't go along with being trapped in the world of habit in 3D, and that someone's good and someone's bad and someone's right and someone's wrong. That's not how we will get the freedom in our mind to see things from a higher place of perception. It's not a judgment on you. It's saying that's a clue where the work might need to be done. Whatever we're feeling is a clue on what's being mirrored to us to look at lovingly by someone whom we might think is our enemy. Remember, the big picture going on here is the light and the dark. That's the big picture. And that's why we clear when we do sessions. I mean, you'll hear me read like all these protocols. Why? To clear the dark. Why? Because it doesn't want love to win. It's steeped in fear. So this time is an invitation for all of us to look at that. So let's balance our brain. Tap our hearts and state who we are and start clearing our space. Because as we do this, this is the sovereignty that it sounds like whatever message is going to come through, that we got to start with that. If you clear your space, opened your mind up to miracles, so that your head and your heart can connect. That is sovereignty, tomato, tomato, however you want to say it. That is you owning your space, running your divine energy through your hara line, your divine line in the center of your body, grounding it to the earth. That is your mastery. That is technically the only thing you can control. If you master that moment to moment, granted, we're not mastering it every moment, else we wouldn't be here together. If you master it moment to moment, your life will change. So we're going to take this time that we have to develop this inner presence to a much higher degree, and the conversation that we can have with the universe to create the reality of what we do want. I think I said it last time. Knowing what you don't want is not the same as resonating with what you do want. So let's do the brain balance, coning our fingers, crossing them, plugging them into our forehead, and breathing. Nice, deep, easy breaths. And with gratitude of, oh my God, I can breathe. Oh, how grateful I am for that. And I'm breathing in a platform with like-minded people, and that feels so safe that I am willing to be here. I am safe, I am safe, I am willing to be here in this moment, because in this moment might be the moment I wake up. In this moment might be the moment where I experience a miracle. In this moment might be the moment that I create a miracle with all my friends together right now. Okay, good. You'll sigh, and then you notice, put the other wrist in front, plug them back into our forehead, balancing our right side, left side brain hemisphere so that we increase the vibration that we allow move through our mind to transcend 3D polarized reality to the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension, the hallmark is oneness, consciousness. There we go. Okay, good. And you'll sigh. And whenever you sigh, then you touch your fingers together, point them toward your head, doing the brainbow, seeing a rainbow come from one hand through your brain to the other hand and back. And you just sit here and breathe and visualize this until you feel a click, a sigh, a shift. There we go. And so we're helping our brain shift into a parasympathetic system. It takes it down a notch. It's saying, right now, I'm safe. Some of you might be in your PJs, cuddled up on the couch or in bed. You're safe. We want to get out of fight or flight. That's the sympathetic, and we're shifting to parasympathetic. So we're just tapping our high heart, our thymus now. I am here, I am here. I am here, I am here. And saying our name with the word only after it 3 times. Your whole name. Is there anyone we need to bless their name? Okay. Is everyone's name coherent with their name? Great. So I am Anjanette Annie Nelson only. You're saying your whole full name, your birth name, your maiden name, your married name, your nickname only. And feel yourself drop in to this capsule. Feel your soul, your spirit drop in to this body. I am Anjanette Annie Nelson only. Only saying, I am the only one in here. That is the law. I am claiming it. The God in me claims it, and it is so. I am Anjanette Annie Nelson only. Thank you. I am here. I am here. I am safe. I am safe. Okay, so we're going to activate the rings of harmony around everybody and call in the 12 rays of the sun to help. So as stuff like pops out of our field, right? You know, and it might feel like a bowl of jelly or something just moves out of you. That's super common. Okay, so we're going to set up the field so this all goes directly back to where it needs to go, whole and healed, so that we're being responsible with our releases. And everybody is in a sacred container in space within this sacred container in space. So you're all individuated in a sacred portal within this sacred space. So let's create that with each other right now. And I'm asking for the presence of the violet flame as well. Whew. Okay. I now command that I be 100% connected and aligned to the one and only true source of love, light, divine truth in the highest and best ways in all directions of time. Show me a yes, show me a no. Do I have a clear channel to sort? Yes. And do I have a clear channel to the participants here? Yes. Okay. And so is the best, most appropriate thing we do is this. Is this the best place to start? Right here. That one? No. This one. Okay. And so you will say, I am of God. I am of 100% the light. I am of source. I am divine. I am that I am. I am the mighty I am present. Pick it, dig it, love it, claim it. I am of blank. I am of God. And then say, I ground myself to the earth in this body, and I accept this healing for my highest good. Great. And then just relax. And I'm going to read some things to place us all in sacred geometric shapes that are most appropriate for you. Each one gets exactly what they need. Command you, God, to break all spells, curses, ancient rituals in each person's life on this call, and anyone that registered for it and anyone that listens to it in the future that are not good and true. I command you, source of all that is, and the Melchizedek beings, to remove all negative remote viewers. Remove all radionics machines affecting each person's life now. I command that you remove all AIs, redundancies, transmissional frequencies, infinite levels wide, infinite levels high, through all space-time continuum and every dimension that are not for their highest good. We bring all the people involved with this manipulation before you, source of all that is, for justice in only the way you see fit. We are not going to judge them. We're just turning them over to you with unconditional love and forgiveness. I command the Melchizedek beings to open 8 portals from the ultimate dimension around each person on the call. Register for the call and listening afterwards. There we go. Close them off underneath the person. Command the Melchizedek beings to create 27 esoteric Merkaba fields around each person, bonding the 8 portals to the Merkaba fields, anchoring their sacral point in the center of the Merkaba fields, and programming these Merkaba fields with the keys of Enoch and their original blueprint of DNA. Thank you. And their sacral point. Right there we go. Okay, good. Right in the center. Great. Okay, you can already start to feel any fogginess start to lift off your head now. There's a lot of stuff out there that is trying to get our minds' attention that is fear-based. Okay, so we're clearing all that out now. That's what we just read. Command the Melchizedek beings to escort all negative energies, entities, overtangles, interferences, manipulations, fractals thereof, out of each person's physical body, mental body, emotional body, energetic body, spiritual body, dimensional body. All overtangles, interferences, manipulations, fractals thereof, and out of each person's field and their space now. And blessing anyone that's in your environment, anyone that's occupying the house you're in, the space you're in, all animals as well, children, of course. We bless and forgive these energies that need to go home now. We bless and forgive them for the manipulation. And we turn them over to the ultimate dimension with unconditional love and forgiveness. And breathe. We're calling in the enlightened nature kingdom, Devic kingdom, animal kingdom, crystal kingdom, plant kingdom, the flower kingdom, the tree people, Amenti, the heart of earth, the earth council, the earth angels, We're calling in the great archangels, the ascended masters, the Elohim, the Holy Trinity, the legions of light, the logos of light, the galactic council, the galactic command. This is where let's say hi to all of our guardian angels, the one that we're born with. Some of you may have more than one angel, but only one guardian angel. So say hello to your angels now. Woo! Elsa Om, the heart of the 22 galaxies, the heart of God. And we're being sandwiched in between this energy. Okay, this earth and cosmic energy, this divine energy. Okay. Declaring our hara lines straight and strong and through our ID point. Okay. We know our purpose and our existence on the planet is to evolve ourselves and the rest of humanity. And we know this healing process is not always easy nor convenient. We ask that all information be useful, relevant, accurate, and free from personal attachment and ego that comes through for this healing time that we have together tonight. Free from agenda, free from any negative energies that can interfere or might want to manipulate. Whew. I ask that it be invisible to them. And any negative energies that want to heal, that want to be released directly. Thank you. Please, Prime Creator, do this for them. Immediately transmute them to 100% of the light in the highest, best possible way, wherever possible. If they don't want to heal, they can't stay. They have to just go home. That's our God-given right to claim this space sacred, and we do that now. And wherever it's possible, may the energies of joy and peace be integrated into each one of us. The second something leaves that is stagnant, heavy, not moving, dense, full of fear or lower vibrational energies, may it be instantly filled into our being with love and light, our highest vibration that's appropriate. Joy and peace, yes, they're always welcome. Thank you. Okay, so something that happened earlier today when I was, having resistance to doing the session because my shadow places, my places that have been asleep in slumber, that have not wanted to wake up to the light of my own true nature, that have resisted being of service, whatever, they have lots of reasons, I understand that. The patterns that would have kept me not having this growth, let's just say it. The light is getting stronger as we come together and grow this field of love, this morphic field of love. Each one of our fields, you have to recognize that in order to do that, each one of our fields is getting much stronger. This is a good thing, but does it cause discomfort? Yes. What we are going to train ourselves not to fall into is saying, oh, it doesn't feel good, stop. No, we're going to train ourselves not to do that. I did say, no, I don't want to do it. I said it out loud because I knew I just had to just say it. And then when I said it, I said it in the presence of someone loving. Thanks, Kayla. And when I heard it, I was like, that's not the truth. That's not my truth. That's some fear coming up to be healed. And then I was like, okay, I need to intervene now. This is the timeout. This is the big grown up that says, okay, you're having a moment. Let's pull ourselves off the playground for a moment and have a timeout. What's going on? And I heard a flower came up and yelled at me. Flowers don't yell. That's actually not fair. Very clearly said, bleeding heart. So I have a feeling this is going to help more than just me today. I instantly took a dose and I chilled right out, and then started looking forward to being with you all today, which is an absolute honor. I feel that so deeply in my heart that it's such an honor to be here and to be in the presence of people who ultimately want more love in their lives and on the planet, in their relationships, in their minds, in their thoughts and their feelings and their emotions. We know wholeheartedly in some part of our being that it's the only answer, yet it is really tricky to sometimes let go of our grievances to get there, because we're really scared. Part of us are scared and wants to defend what we think is right. And what I'm being taught every day, and I am getting better at it, thank God, if we don't hold our energy in our sacred container, it will bleed out all over the place. Bleeding heart. And especially for those people who want the planet to heal. I happen to be very attached to that story. Yeah. And I'm learning that I have some blind spots in that real attachment. And my blind spots are thinking that I have to do it. You know, I know it sounds stupid, but by myself. Because I don't want to burden anybody else with it. This is an old, icky, weird pattern. You can hear this. It's like the wounded feminine. And there's a wounded masculine too, and he might feel very similar to that. So this is where Bleeding Heart Flower came up to give me a beautiful healing today. So I'm going to just read it out loud because maybe y'all get something out of it too. The positive qualities of Bleeding Heart are loving others unconditionally, with an open heart, and having complete emotional freedom. So right there, those three things, light me up like a Christmas tree. Yeah, because the second you have a open heart, you say something and then someone hurts you, what do you want to do? Close your heart. Yes, that's right. Put up a wall, close it, walk away, hang up the phone, delete them from, your client contact list, whatever, which is the opposite of emotional freedom. It's like emotional dying. And loving unconditionally is that, most of us really only love the people that are nice to us. Yeah, shocking. Okay, that's 3D love. So the patterns of imbalance that would say why we need this is we are trying to get out of the imbalance of forming relationships based on fear or possessiveness. Emotional codependence. Yeah, I just heard a bell. There we go. Bleeding Heart Flower Essence is a very powerful heart cleanser and strengthener for those that must learn the deeper lessons, the deeper spiritual lessons of love and freedom. Those needing this remedy can suffer enormous pain and brokenheartedness because their feelings have been poured out so completely onto the world, their family, another soul, who no longer may be present or show up from in the way that they want them to. Ugh. Perhaps this is because a loved one has died, or a cherished friend or family member has disowned us or moved away, rejected us. Most frequently, such anguish arises in personal relationships that have dissolved. We think that have dissolved. In the big picture, we can't separate from each other. But in the 3D world, it feels real when we don't see them anymore. It feels like there's separation. This is why this bleeding heart is so helpful for humans. Okay, so. Or relationships that have dissolved, or in relationships that have been greatly afflicted. Although love for another may have many genuine aspects, very often the bleeding heart type has made the error of living too extensively outside the boundaries of one's own self. That's the bleeding. We actually we have to have a cup, a vessel to hold our chi. This intense desire for connection is often felt by the person, the partner, as emotional dependence. And this can cause the other person, partner, to feel the need for distance. We all know this rubber band thing, you know, we all know this one. Such a codependent relationship is devoid of the real freedom and balanced exchange of heart energies, because we feel somehow incomplete if they were to leave. The loss and pain which are consequently felt by those in need of bleeding heart are therefore necessary experiences when viewed from the larger perspective, from the 5D, from the place of ourselves that is whole and healed. Yeah, that makes sense to me there. It didn't make sense to me 5 minutes before I took the thing, but it made sense to me when I shifted to seeing, oh, if my heart is bleeding out all over the place, goodbye, we'll talk later. Then I am not holding my own energy. I am not getting the information I need from myself. I'm getting the information instead from the world around me. I'm getting information of what love is from the people around me. Instead of knowing what it is inside of me, I am using everybody as a litmus piece of paper, litmus test. Do you love me? If you love me, then I must be lovable. Oh, you don't love me? Oh, I must not be that good. We all do it. Through bleeding heart flower essence, the soul learns to fill itself from within with strong spiritual forces, so that the capacity to love another is based on the ability to honor and nourish the self. So if you enter all your relationships from this place of fullness, codependence doesn't come into play. It becomes an interdependence. It's one whole person mixes with one whole person, and they form a fabric that is stronger, yet each fiber is whole unto itself. Strange concept for the human mind, I understand that. So that leads us right into doing a full Court of Atonement protocol for healthy boundaries, and simultaneously healing the trauma that we have from hard experiences from people that we have had experiences with, or hard experiences from interactions in the world. So Amy Jo Ellis, I highly recommend her to anyone and everyone. She is channeling Abraham. And this Court of Atonement was taught to her from Abraham. Very high vibrational energy. And the word atonement, if you look at it at one mint, it's bringing things into wholeness. Because when we do not digest situations that happen in our life and in the world around us completely as they happen, they are then unresolved energies. We didn't come to completion with them. We didn't finish digesting them. And yet we have set up our lives in this 3D world to be so habitual that we go through our day. Now I do this, and then I do this, and then I do this, and this, and this. And that's what I do. That's how my day is. That's how I like it. That's how I feel like I have control. That's how I get a lot done. That's how I can multitask so many things in my life, because I stay on a schedule, and then I do that habit every day until it's a Saturday, and then the habit might change a little bit, but that's still going to be a habit. That is the hallmark of 3D. This is what is blowing a lot of our minds right now, because this apparently is not much of a habit that we're experiencing right now. And it's making some people very scared, because it's unpredictable and we don't know exactly what's going on. And we are trying to get out of these 3D habits by stopping the fear-based thinking. of change, that change might be something really scary. And we're trying to train ourselves from moment to moment to moment to moment to be very conscious and online of what we're experiencing instead of immediately going into judgment and fear and stopping the energy and then saying, that's too much, I can't digest that. See, because what happens when we don't digest it is that it will become a biological solution because our brain couldn't figure it out. And then our stomach is like, giving us the middle finger. I have indigestion. My third chakra hurts. I have pain. I have constriction. I can't breathe. I have these places in myself that are feeling shut down because I couldn't process something that happened. And my life is so busy, I didn't create the time for myself to say, whoa, what just happened? I need to sit down and go inside and presence myself with that interaction, with that experience, with that thing I read. And I need to find out if I can connect to the light to get some information to bring it to wholeness again. Now, we might find that we need another conversation with that person down the line to bring it into wholeness, but most of us aren't doing that. Most of us aren't calling someone up. We had this argument 3 years ago. I just don't feel resolved with it. Do you mind hashing it out with me again right now? No, most of us do not do that. Most of us make our decisions about what happened, judge either ourselves or the person or both, and then the relationship's always a little tweaked after that. And yet, we go on, but we never really felt whole with it. We never really felt okay with it. We never really digested it the way we could have, because we felt vulnerable. We didn't want to expose ourselves anymore to the discomfort of it. We wanted to just get it past us. Time is a healer. Time is a healer. Just get it past us. And this is what we're trying to train ourselves not to do. So this world of habit that we've been so used to is come to a huge, big, fat stop right now. And we're being asked to live moment to moment to moment. Our 3D life of habit has been broken up, and it creates fear and uncertainty. Yet there are new spaces, there are new ideas, there are new ways that are being created. But it is up to us how we're going to fill our beings with these new potentials, how we might dance with them, how we might sit with them, how we might interact with them. But new in general for people, begins inside of us. Because if it always stays outside of us, it might not feel like we ever really say yes to it. It's when this newness, we sit with it inside and we say, well, okay, what can I say yes to? Can I say yes to getting my business online? Can I say yes to having takeout service? Can I say yes to a job change? Can I say yes to a reset in my relationship? Can I say yes to choosing something that is not based out of fear? So as we use this full court of atonement to reestablish our healthy boundaries, and we want to do this as much during the day, and you might find your own words. God bless you. You find whatever words you need for healthy boundaries. It is not to close people out. It is not to shut out the world. It's to saying, I am a container of my own energy, and no one can be that container for me. That is our higher self, our God self, our soul self, anchored into this body. We are 100% responsible for that. No one is responsible for that for us. And we want healthy boundaries, energetic encasements. That's, I guess, a more warm and fuzzy word to say, while we sleep as well, especially because we are processing while we're sleeping. So we say I and then our full name. So I will say I am my name, and you on your end with your microphone off say I, your full name. I, Anjanette Annie Nelson. You can say it out loud or in your head. Place myself, and then you fill in your name, Anjanette Annie Nelson, into a full court of atonement for the purpose of soul recognition and having healthy boundaries in all time, space, dimensions, and realities where I exist or express myself, all aspects of myself, all universes, alternate timelines. I ask for traumatic stress resolution and grief recovery resolution. So be it. Thank you. There we go. Now you're going to feel a shift when you feel that. I just felt that shift in the back of my neck. See if you notice where you might sense, see, perceive, hallucinate that shift. I want to read something from Rudolf Steiner. In the early 1900s, 1907, he was talking about educating ourselves in the light of spiritual science. See, this is a breadcrumb. These are one of those people in the planets that gave us a breadcrumb. Someone who, people call them, ahead of their time, but they're placed on the earth to hold a high vibrational light. And sometimes they just hold the light. Sometimes just their presence on the planet is all they need to do. And that is enough to cause the ripple effect, the butterfly effect, the 100-monthly effect, whatever you want to call it. It's the ripple effect of just being the presence of the alternative, the presence of being oneness consciousness, the presence of integration in left side, right side brain hemisphere, the presence of love, the presence of the power of love, the presence of the connection to all that is. This is the only thing that is going to change the darkness. Rudolf Steiner, quote, "We must eradicate from the soul all fear and terror. That is what the darkness feeds on. That is what the darkness preys on. That is what the darkness counts on to keep their agendas in place. And the shadow does work. It works off planet, but it also works through humans that like the dark, that worship the dark, that pray to the dark, that talk to the dark, that align to the dark, that find their power in the dark. We must eradicate from the soul all fear and terror of what comes towards man out of the future. We must acquire serenity in all feelings and sensations about the future. We must look forward with absolute equanimity to everything that may come, and we must think only that whatever comes is given to us by a world directive full of wisdom. It is part of what we must learn in this age, namely, to live out a pure trust without any security in its existence. Trust in the ever-present help of the spiritual world. Truly, nothing else will do if our courage is not to fail us. And let us seek the awakening from within ourselves every morning, every evening, every breath. Okay, so this is creating the morphic field It's integrating it now. This conversation is being heard from way beyond this dimension now. Now we have some attention in the universe for some miracles. Let's have them. This is what we set up. This is why I take so many minutes in the beginning to build the energy. So by the time we go inside and do our inner presencing and saying hello to our fears, saying hello to our blocks, saying hello to our illness, saying hello to our pain, saying hello to the shadow inside ourselves to bring light to it, that it will exponentially happen for us. All we have to do is be willing to look at it and say hello and be with it and sit with it until it transforms. So as the darkness, preys on people that love it and answers to people who invoke it, so will light to people invoke the light, the people that pray to the light. And we can make a prayer out of anything. So a prayer is a map of intent. So I got a lesson the other morning. I was binging on the Google business because I had looked up in the sky and I saw all these lines and I was like, I wonder if all those paranoid people talking about chemtrails, if it's really true. And I, went down the rabbit hole. And then I started doing the research and trying to find independent news sources that don't have money behind them to get some information. And boy, did I open up a can of worms. I didn't know there was so much documented information about this stuff. And so I was, apoplectic, and I was very upset. And I was doing what I was exactly talking about 20 minutes that you shouldn't do. No, this is wrong. This is not good. This shouldn't be happening. This is, I will not accept it. This is ruining the planet, blah, blah, blah. I was doing just what I said we shouldn't do. Instead of being curious, I wonder if that's the truth. I wonder if it is affecting us. Because initially I was like, I have no control over what a freaking plane does over this planet. And I got angry. There's the fear of not having control and not having power. So after I flailed for quite a bit, I said, what? A light bulb went off. One of my angels probably pulled my hair and said, excuse me, use your tools. Talk to us, talk to us, talk to us, talk to us. And I was like, what can I do? And they were like, well, say a prayer. And I was like, initially I was like, God, is that enough? And then I was like, Annie, your whole thing is don't fight for peace, pray for peace. So I know the power of prayer. I pay people to pray for me. I pay people who I think are very connected to the light to pray for me. And I've had miracles happen in my life until I realized that I could actually do these prayers myself, not for just myself, but for other people. And I noticed how strong they were. When I set my intention towards somebody and I call in all the light, things will change. So I got sent this prayer to neutralize and remove chemtrails. So one of my favorite persons that makes his prayers public, online, free for everyone, is Christopher Macklin on ChristopherMacklinMinistries.com. So he, why reinvent the wheel? This one, he wrote it beautifully. Thank you. I'll just read what you wrote. I read it. I had tears, but it was those different tears that I was talking about. It was the tears of love and empowerment and the power of those words. And that shifted from the tears of being someone who was scared and didn't like what they were seeing in the world. Totally different shift. So you can look that up online of what his prayers are, but he has a beautiful prayer I have been saying it every day now. It makes me feel a lot better. We can write our own prayers. Anyone who grew up going to church learned to say prayers. We can say our own prayers. I say prayers when I wake up in the morning. Please guide me today. Show me where to go. Show me what to do. Show me who to talk to. I'm willing to be molded. I'm willing to be guided. I say prayers before I go to bed. Protect me. Please protect me, angels. And I'm talking to the light. You be clear who you're talking to. I'm talking to 100% pure light. Protect me while I sleep. I want to wake up seeing the world in 5-dimensional lenses. I want to wake up rested. I want to wake up with some answers that I had to some issues I was going over yesterday. I say my prayers in the morning, in the evening. If you do this, your brain will be retrained to feel like it has power to create the situations you want in this life. Okay, so now let's go inside. This is where I do the music thing. I think you guys all have your microphones off. Fantastic. If you want to put your cameras off and close your eyes and go inside, do whatever makes you happy. This is the part where I will turn on the music, and then I will, I'm not sure what I'm going to say. I'm not sure what I'm going to channel. I'm not sure what they want to say. I might end up reading something, but at some point I will be quiet. At some point I will be quiet, and I'm going to go through, I'm going to find on my computer whoever signed up for this meeting, whether they're on it or not, I won't know. I'm just going to go to the original Zoom platform, not the one that I'm looking at right now. And then I'm going to make a intention for anyone who will listen or hear this recording, watch it in the future too. Individual healing. Now, I noticed while last week the energy was coming through me for the healings, it went to a very particular place in each person. Very particular. It was, even though it's a general healing, because it's general in that I haven't said who's got a headache, who has a stomach ache. No, it's general in that I didn't ask for specifics of what you want, but I have asked God, I asked the angels, I asked Spirit, I asked your team, my team, all the beings of light that are working with us, that it be what you need. For whatever would help you right now. And it very uniquely goes to specific spots in each person. It was mind-blowing. So if anybody does experience something, have a testimony, want to share it, great, awesome. I would love that if you could email me. So I'll start the music, and then at some point I'll turn off, let me get it going. I will try to speak right into the thingy so it doesn't get too much feedback. The music sometimes in general of itself is calm and quiet, and then sometimes there is a crescendo with it. The crescendo is the music. It's programmed to clear. That's when the music sometimes gets louder. And then the second track is to bring healing after the clearing. And that tends to be a little softer. Okay, so go inside, get comfortable, and start to have a conversation. Just say hello, perhaps, as you go inside. Hello, and see who responds to you. See who reacts. See if there's a dark space, an unmoving space. See if there's a ball of something that might be calling for your attention as you say hello. See what needs some love. You're saying hello in a very loving, curious way. And you're going in with all this light that we have cultivated. You're going in with light. Do not feel alone. You are going in with all your guidance, your angels, and all these beautiful beings of light that have gathered for this. You're going inside with that light. Maybe you just want to sit and breathe. Maybe you want to take a nap. Maybe you want to excavate a little bit. Maybe you want to look at something in this sacred space that maybe you don't feel like looking at alone. Do it with all of us right now. Hello, hello, hello. I am here. I am here. I am here with the light. I love you. I love you. I love you. I am here. And see if something comes up to get your attention for a healing. And then just start talking to it. Maybe it wants a color. Maybe it wants a dialogue. Maybe it wants you to say something. Use your gifts, your tools, your mastery. Uh, if you're feeling like you need more of that, say, I am willing to receive my mastery right now. I am willing to I am willing to receive every tool I have right now in this moment as I go inside an inner presence in myself. I am willing to look at the fear. I am willing to release the anger. I am willing to be happier. I am willing to get divine guidance on what my next steps are right now in my life. I am willing to have insight and inspiration on a relationship I'm having or a conflict. I am willing to get divine guidance on an idea I've had. Is it the right timing? Just start having the deep, intimate conversation of your soul inside your body with all your teams of light. You connected to the source of your being, allowing all your pearls and knowledge of wisdom that you have cultivated over lifetimes to be available to you in the present breath of now, in this moment, right now, in this lifetime, with like-minded people who are all doing the same thing. This exponentially makes the potential for this to be profound because we are all doing it together. And profound can be subtle. Remember that. It doesn't have to be a 2x4 to the head. Okay, so I'm just going to turn off my camera. And just let the music take you on a journey for just a couple of minutes. I'm going through the list right now and sending healing energy to each individual person signed up or present on the platform, or that will be listening to the replay. But they just got my attention while I'm doing this. You are all getting downloaded right now from your angelic team on information that you've been looking for. You didn't know how to put it in words, but it's coming in right now. So just thank you, bring me more. When you feel this light, say yes, thank you, bring me more. This is part of changing our brain waves of saying, no, I don't like what's going on. We want to say to the universe at this point, yes, thank you, acknowledge this is the message I like. Yes, this is what I want more of. Yes, thank you, bring me more. Good job. Okay, good. See, that opens up all your energies fields exponentially. Okay, I'm going back to the human. So this inner journey, this inner presencing that we are creating for ourselves is our true freedom. No one can take this away from us. It is always available. And as you can see, we are equipped to do it. And so it's the real true freedom of liberating our mind from the confines of fear to the freedom to heal ourselves. We have all come with everything we need to heal ourselves. We are born with it. My Qigong master, Chen Yilin from Spring Forest, who is just one of the most beautiful beings on the planet. He's just so loving and he cares so much about humans. Yet he is a master at running his own energy, clearing his space, and exercising that freedom, because it just gives us the ability to create moment to moment what we do want instead of what we don't want. Jared Hewitt was talking about it the other day, and he, I know I've mentioned him before, he wrote a book, Love, Life, God, and I will email it to the audiobook to anyone who wants it. If you want to email me directly, I will send you a free version of that audiobook, Love, Life, God. He says, true freedom is not an energy of escape. It is the ability in every moment to create and make manifest that which we desire, being fully supported in our choice for creation, expression, and expansion. This form of freedom can terrify the subconscious mind and threaten the ego, which desires to find problems in order to solve them. This journey that we're talking about, this freedom, takes you right into the heart of freedom, enabling you to release the fears, transmute the unknown, and step into your true ability to co-create from the 0-point field, the quantum field, the mind of God, whatever you want to call it. This is a space of no resistance and total love, wherein you open to new potentials and possibilities and begin to let go of your old stories of money, love, health, and experiencing something new, something desired from the most pure space of your being. This is a journey of dissolving resistance and opening to the being, the creation of all that you truly desire from this place of love, oneness, freedom, free from your bonds, free from controls, free from our entanglements to other people, our bank accounts, blah, 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 so that we open space to return to our divine blueprint and our ability to create and manifest in unencumbered ways. This is truly freedom, free from the entanglement of 3D mass consciousness, free from fear. If you create from fear, you will get a wacky creation. If you create from this unlimited potential of this expanded self, this is where you want to create from. Okay, I want to do one protocol here for our immune system. Our three immune systems, our physical immune system, our symbiotic immune system, which is our gut health, our microbiome, and our energetic immune system. This is our Wei Qi, this is our aura, this is the field, the energy that is around us. I now command that all of our three immune systems be restored to 100% balance and function in all directions of time in the highest and best way. Thank you. And we say thank you because we're acknowledging gratitude for something that we are trusting is already happening as we speak it. And we anchor it into the now. So now you're going to get ready to take a couple of breaths and come back into the present moment. And we're going to do a reset and reboot. It is now commanded that all parts of you, physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, spiritually, dimensionally, all processes, all systems, all energies, be reset, rebooted, renewed, revived, rebalanced, recalibrated, rejuvenated, regenerated, and restored to 100% ideal radiant health in the highest and best ways in all directions of time and all timelines where you exist. And anything in the way of that, we are asking Source to please heal this too with ease, speed, and grace. Thank you. And so we're just going to have the Melchizedek beings comb out everybody's aura now, like as if we had this long hair all the way to the ground. They have these beautiful golden fingers combing out your entire field to integrate the shift, the change, to comb out any of the energies, any of the stagnation, any of the dust bunnies that were coming out. We're combing them out of your field now. Good. There we go. I'm still on the back. We're doing the whole back body, but you are still breathing as if you're going to come back into this room. Place within the next minute or so. Telling these places inside of yourself that you will talk to them later. It won't be another week. You'll talk to them really, really soon. Some of them might want to talk to you before you go to bed tonight, first thing in the morning. You know, there's an excitement that happens inside of our being when we open up to this conversation. They want to talk. They want to be seen by you. They want to be acknowledged by you. They want your attention. They want your love. It's no different from what we want in the outside world. We all want to be seen. We all want to be heard. We all want to be recognized. We all want to be loved. We all want to be acknowledged for being beautiful light beings. This is what the inside of us wants too. Even though it might feel very dark and shady and scary, it wants to be seen. It wants to be reunited with you. It wants to be free from the confines of the torment and the torture and the shame and the isolation that has kept them frozen in time from icky things that happened. It wants that freedom too, so that it can come back into resonance with your heart chakra. This is exactly what the second ascension track is doing right now. Okay, great. You guys all look really good. Okay, now start to really wiggle around so that you're going to open your eyes here. And I want to thank all the beings of light that came to join us today. We are so grateful for your help and honored by your presences as we open to this healing process. See, there's a noise that's happening in the cosmos right now. Some people call it the music of the spheres. It's actually this it's music, but it's not like the music we're used to here. But right now it's working on this whole area of us. The throat chakra, the connection, it's clearing the path from the head to the heart. And it's in complete celebration for the wholeness that they see us making an effort and saying, yes, that's what we want. They are celebrating that. They are our brothers and our sisters, and we are their family. And it's like, they're just thrilled to have an opportunity to come in and connect in such deep ways. It's hard to do this when we're on the fly all day, busy, busy, busy with our routines and things. So they are so grateful we take the time to marinate in this light, in this love, in this connection, in this divinity. So just notice what you're feeling. Maybe you want to put it in the chat. That helps it to anchor in, to share it with others and acknowledge it for yourself, helps it make it real for yourself. And I am commanding you, God, to place a sphere of unconditional love from the ultimate dimension around each person on this call, that signed up for the call or is going to listen to it or watch it later in time. Placing a sphere of unconditional love from the ultimate dimension around each person, protecting them from any negative entities, fractals thereof, manipulations, and transmissional frequencies that are not for their highest good through all space-time continuum in every dimension. I thank you, source of creation. I send you my unconditional love. So be it. So as I had mentioned before, and that's a prayer, had I mentioned before that there was a prayer that I read that helped me shift some energy about chemtrails. Christopher Macklin is, he works on over 1,000 people a week, and he is having unbelievable success stories with people with serious illnesses. Some of them being Lyme disease, Agent Orange, Morgellons. These are like big diseases. Anyway, he is having, he wants to gather 1,000 people, not this weekend, but next weekend, Saturday at 1 o'clock PST, Pacific time, to state out loud. We'll all be on Zoom. Everyone will be silenced, but we'll all be saying it out loud, repeating after him a map of intention, a prayer to stop the evil on the planet. If you feel called to participate in this, like I said, he's running the show. I don't think it's going to be a very long meeting. Send me your email, and I won't put you on his email thing. I won't do that to you. Just send me your email, and when I get the invitation on the Zoom book, I'll forward it to you. If you want to participate, he'd like 1,000 people all together, gathered at the same time, saying, claiming their power in the light and asking the universe to stop the evil energies that are, I don't know, trying to stay in power. I guess that's the nicest way to put it. So if that's something that moves you, contact me and I will forward it on to you. Okay, so does anyone want to turn their camera on? So I don't know. I'm not sure how to see everyone's faces, but maybe you all could see each other's faces. I tried to shorten it a little bit. I was kind of successful, at least a little bit. I wanted to get it down to an hour and a half, ultimately maybe an hour. Again, put that in the chat or email me. Yes, shorter is better. No, longer is good. I will do my best. I'm still learning how to keep time when I'm doing this channeling thing. It's still very new to me, but I can make requests, and I can also show them in this reality how long it takes to say something. So maybe say less, or maybe have longer meditation chunks of it. So any feedback, if that was the right amount of time or too short of a time for the actual internal presencing. As you all get better and do this week after week, you might want more time to be, quiet inside. I know what happens when I get into this space of, that could have been 2 minutes, honest to Pete, like, it could have just been 2 minutes. Like, when you're in the fifth dimension, there's no time. And Annie is in the fifth dimension when she's doing this. This is not the Annie you run into at Safeway. She's not this happy. So, I can do it forever, but I realize as people maybe are going to go back to work, get busier with their schedules, if a shorter session is requested, I will adhere to that, especially since Kayla and I have committed to 4 more Evening with Spirits on a donation basis, just to help people out until people get some money coming in again. Okay, so good. Okay, so let me see if I turn on the chat. Kayla, would you be willing to say hello to me?
Of course. Hello.
Hello. How are you feeling? How did the music work on that one? Okay.
That was good. Yeah, it sounded better this time
Okay.
too.
Is there anything that you want to say before we wrap it up? And the next time we'll send out a meeting for Monday, May 4th at 6 o'clock Pacific time. If anybody wants to do that group.
Yeah, we'll be sending out the invites for the email, and it does say in there, but if you know somebody that would benefit out of being in this group or joining us, please feel free to share that email and the gathering with them, so that we can keep this going and keep growing all together.
That prayer to invoke the light, more light on the planet, will be, I think, Saturday, May 2nd at 1 o'clock Pacific time. If anyone.
I posted the link to his web address in the chat too for everybody.
Yeah, cool.
I didn't see that on his website though.
It's not there yet. They just came up with it the other day because it just struck me. I was like, well, the people who gather on this are people that talk to the light, invoke the light, love the light, know the power of the light, and together we can do anything, I'm sure.
Yes, together.
Okay, well, until we meet again, Kayla and I are so blessed that people show up. It's awesome.
Thank you, Annie. Love you.
There we go.
Annie.
Hi, Bink.
Hi, Bunny.
Let me put it on pause so I don't go through all that.
Thank you.
Okay.